All right, so obviously, by the nature of the title of the video, uh, you already know what this is. By no means is this going to be a high production value video, but it is real, it is raw, and in no way is it fictional. I'll start off by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm 26 years old. My name is Kyle. Um, I've always lived in the southern United States, southeastern United States. I was born in South Georgia, raised in North Florida. Um, I've got a brother, an older brother. He's 3 years older than myself. I didn't grow up in a Christian household. Uh, the only times that I'd ever went to church was with my grandfather on my dad's side. And I would go see my dad every other weekend. My parents divorced when I was 4 or 5. But I would go to church with my grandfather on my dad's side. You know, maybe once a month or so. At my best, and it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it, but as a kid, I wasn't fully grasping the meaning behind of it. It was kind of a way for me to go and hear music and be with friends and things like that. So that's a little bit of my background. As far as my childhood goes. So today's date, as this video is being uploaded, is today is Monday, April 18th, 2022. In the past few weeks, there have been a lot of really major changes in my life, and I know that my testimony is going to be the same as a lot of other people's in a lot of ways. I don't expect mine to be seen as something just completely crazy or unheard of. I don't expect to reach a lot of people, but if I can reach one person and help just one person through a hard time that they're going through, it'll be worth it. And also, it helps me just to talk about it. So that's the point behind this video. That's my goal. If I can help a single person, great. If not, at least I'm talking about it. So a few of the things that have happened recently that has brought about a lot of the changes that's happening right now. I moved to Macon, Georgia, a little over 2 years ago. I moved up here for work. We have a welding shop up here, and it was owned by my stepfather, but he passed away in October of 2019. And my mom, she took over the business, and she needed some help. And I have fabrication experience, so I came up here to help out. When I moved up here, I was in a relationship. I was married. I don't have kids. I've got pets, but no kids. I moved up here, and before we had even moved, her and I had relationship problems in the past. I was unfaithful in a lot of ways. I was manipulative. We weren't living for Christ at all. Things were just really not good. So we moved up here hoping for a new start, hoping that it would reset our relationship and that we could make things better, you know. But we got up here and nothing really changed. Pretty soon after we got to Macon, we had a falling out and we decided to separate. So that's what happened. We separated, and we went our own way. She moved out, and pretty soon she found another boyfriend, and they moved on and they're doing their thing, which is great. Good for her. So I tried to do the same thing. I did do the same thing. Looking back now, I should have taken more time to heal properly, instead of just jumping right back in and trying to numb the pain that I was having or that I was feeling with the presence of another person. And that's one of my issues. I've learned recently that I rely on other people a lot to feel assurance, to feel valued, and that's something that I'm trying to work on. But anyway, like I said, I moved on. I was on dating apps, and I'd been quote unquote successful. I'd met a few people, struck up relationships, and I never had intentions for them to be purely physical, but that's kind of the way that it seemed that they were. And I wasn't okay with that, but I didn't realize how destructive it was for me at the time. So that's what I did for a couple months. It was just the cycle of meeting someone, it becoming physical, then we would lose interest in each other, and the cycle would continue. So that had happened a few times, and then I met someone else, and that's when things started changing for the better. I met her, and it was very clear right from the start that she was a Christian, just by her dating profile. My dog's howling. Hopefully you don't hear that too much. But we started talking, and things were starting off really slow, and that was different for me, and it attracted me. It made me feel like I was really working for it, and it wasn't just another easy hookup, basically. So we started dating, and we started talking, and after a little while, after a few months, we decided that, hey, we like each other enough, let's make this official. So that's what happened. So in the end of January, we started officially dating, and it was great. She had invited me to her church, and I was attending church regularly. I was involved in Christian community, which I'd never been before. I was making friends, making actual friends, forming relationships with people that were impactful on my life, and I wasn't doing that before. But we started dating, and things were great. Everything was great. But I've failed to tell her a lot about my past. I was afraid that if I told her about my past, the unfaithfulness in my marriage and the relationships that I'd been in, that if I told her those things, she wouldn't accept me, and she would, think differently of me and in the relationship, basically. And I was terrified of that because I'd felt so much growth in the past, what turned into the past 400 days, a little over a year. then that was my biggest fear, was, me coming forward to her about my past and her thinking different of me. And I understand, I know that that is not the right way to go about things. It's not the healthy way to think of things. I should have been completely honest with her at the beginning. But I wasn't. And yeah, I'm realizing that I should have been. And I was aware of that before. I was just making excuses along the way. I was terrified. I wasn't man enough. But yeah, like I said, we actually dated for a little over a year. About 400 days is what we call it. We dated, and I was constantly going to church. Our family